All right, now welcome to SC Custom Designs. Where we're doing part 2 of facilitating the tapered legs to receive the side panel. So this guy is going to go in this way. Now you could chisel that out. Use your router. That's the smartest way, I think. Either by hand, router with an edge guide. Do that very carefully. If you have a bench top, I have a bench dog pro top contractor unit. So that's what I'll use. I have a skill router in there. I don't remember what his horsepower is, but it's this one here. That's what I got inside. And so at any rate, part 1 was all about practicing, and that I did. And when I was practicing with a very similar leg, which I'm going to bring over and show you, just because you want to practice on something that doesn't count. So I had one left over from a previous project. I then brought him to the size I needed to in order to get the job done. And so here's what we have here. Let me turn this guy on too. All right, so you'll note that in part 1, the RPMs were turned way down for the router, and that's because I was using a 3.5 inch back cutter panel from Fraud bit, and you got to turn that down to, I think it was 1200 RPMs. So as I was going through with this is soft wood, this practice one. This is oak. When I set it down in there, it really started to bog down a little more than I thought it should. Oh yeah, I never turned the RPMs back up. And I was trying to turn it up, and it's a safe operation. I was very careful while it was running, but don't do anything like that if you don't feel comfortable with it. That's really the bottom line. Don't do anything with your power tools if you're not comfortable with them. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to take you off the mount because I want to show you how the finished product over here, semi-finished product. How beautiful, my friends. The panel is now in the sides of the unit. Isn't that beautiful? And there's still more work to do, more tweaking to do with the legs and this, that, and the other. So it's not the final episode. Okay, so again, this is the not even sure what I'm seeing here. I turn the lights back off again. This is the episode on making the super cool awesome table, coffee table. All right, so we're going to take care of the last one because I already did all 3 of the legs, and I have one more to do. And if you missed the first one, then I'll just briefly go over. Steve, you don't know how to be brief. I know. I'm a software QA guy. I have to really get into things. So we have, what's this tape all about? This tape is all about knowing that once I set the board in place, am I going to go in that direction or this direction? Where am I going to start and where am I going to stop? All right, so that's what that's about. So these 2 pieces of tape were going this way. I'm going to take that off because I don't need it anymore. All right, at least I think I am. And now we know that we're going to go in this direction. Now, if this is something you do every day, you're not going to need these silly pieces of tape. I don't do this every day. This is SC Custom Design, something I do on the side at nights and weekends. We do shows throughout the year and sell our stuff. All right, with that being said, so I can even argue that I don't even need this now because I already have the experience fresh in my mind, what this is all about, where I start and where I stop. And I'm going to show you the very basic setup that you're going to need. All right, it's simply this. I get this tape off my fingers. All you need for this is a pencil and a square. I highly recommend, by the way, this Savage by Swanson. It has this little thing that comes out depending upon where you're setting your square. What it allows you to do is something like this, my friends. If you don't have that, this is what happens, right? If you have it, this is what happens. It just stays there. I think that's cool. At any rate, all you really need to do, and I'm hoping you're seeing what I'm saying here. I'll just move this light over some more, like getting in my way. All right, so all we really need to do is to know where to start and where to stop on this, and that is here and here. Okay, so we know we're going to be running it through this way, so why not go ahead and just draw some lines up this way? That's what we're going to do. And I'm super paranoid about things going on with my camera and not being able to see what we're saying. So I'm going to turn some other lights off just to make sure you can see what's going on. Sorry, y'all on the big TVs. All right, there we go. I think we're good. So we just very quickly, because this is a tapered leg, by the way, you're not going to want to do this to make your lines, right? Otherwise, it's not going to be a good outcome. All right, so let's just go ahead and make our reference point coming up. And here's another little tip. If you're a new woodworker, okay, when you're squaring off, you're going to want to square off on the most squared size, if that makes sense, the 90-degree angle. You're going to want to square off and stay on that corner where you went. If you're going this way, turn it around and then go this way. All right, now if this weren't taper, you wouldn't want to come over here. This line may not be parallel with this line. We know that from experience, don't we? So just a little thing that we learned. And did I just do what I told you not to do? That's because I'm doing things live. All right. We want to go off this side. All right. So let's do that real quick. Now we're going to have our reference lines where we're going to stop. We're just going to approach this the cautious way and leave a little more material in until we're sure things are going to fit just right. All right. So how do we approach this? Again, the rattle bit is going this way, so I recommend going in this direction. All right. If you go in this direction, it may push your material, and you won't have complete control over it. All right. Another thing, you're going to want to put your board here and set it down nice and slow into the bit. What kind of bit is this? I neglected to tell you in the first video. This is a straight mortising bit by Bosch, and I like this bit a lot. It really does a good job. All right, so again, you're going to just drop it down nice and easy. All right, and then I'm actually going to start here near the end. Here's my reference point. I'm going to want to be shy of that reference point on the inside. Go all the way through, and then again be shy on this reference point. I'm going to want to come down here and make sure that I'm seeing what's going on here. All right, and then we'll go get our panel, which is right here, and we'll see if it fits. So again, if I was doing this every day, I'd probably just be done explaining all of this and just go and be done. But you know, this is joined up oak that I made. That's a lot of work that's going into this table. Solid oak legs, all right, that are custom made and glued and joined together. So you don't want to mess that up. All right, here we go. You definitely want to have ear protection, for which I am looking around now and do not see my premium ones. So I'm going to grab my these here, which do a decent job. These guys here. Oh, here they are right here, hiding behind the stock. So ear protection. You want dust collection. Now my hole is now 3.5 inches wide because I had to make room in this one. I didn't have time to order a plate that would accommodate that big bit. So I just cut it out. And look up at that episode. You know, it's called, you know, I don't have a lot of money and I got to do what I got to do. So that's what you do, my friends. So that being said, dust collection, very key. I'm going to plug in our jet. Look up that episode. When I put it together, I did a little demo, not putting it together necessarily, but the beginning stage of working with it. All right, we're going to stop and we're going to inspect and see what happened there. For all I know, I made an adjustment and didn't put my the lock down. We're just fine. So we're going to start down this end and continue the journey. Okay. Of course, make sure there's nothing here. You should really route the back out here so that the dust has somewhere to go. I believe what happened was that the stock got pulled in one direction, and there's a teeny bit of a boo-boo over here, which is not the end of the world at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this tool here, which I constantly use, and let's do what they call a dry fit. See how we're doing here. I know it's not going to fit, but I'm doing that on purpose. Okay, not fitting. Now, as it is, I went exactly to the line over here, and it's going to be a little concave, a little round on the edge. So now you could chisel that out, or you could just not. I mean, it's really not that critical, at least with this unit here. So let's go ahead and finish that up, and then we'll change the mount around. I thought I would try this one here. I tell you, it's not the same as the other one, but it works. It does the job. Okay, I stopped right on the line. Let's see how we're doing now. Okay, I mean, it'll go in. I'll be happy with that. All right, my friends. So there you go. There is the panel going into the side. I showed you already that that we have. Let me see if we can take you off the mount here and show you how this is going to work. Just got to move my light here. Going this way, I guess. All right. Again, you're at the SC Custom Designs. We have 600 plus videos. Always make sure to unplug things. I use the crank system, by the way, which allows me to turn on and off just like that. Theoretically, you're supposed to mount that guy. And you can plug 2 units into this. All right, but definitely unplug your tools when they're not in use. All right, let's put you around this way. And sorry, y'all on big TVs. You're probably going to want to kill me now. Get your dram on me now, right? Let's put you down a little bit like so. You don't mind that? I'm going to pull this out a little bit. All right, so let's walk over there and see what we got. And there we go, my friends. Except I put it in backwards. Price of doing things live. That's why I didn't do videos when I first started out, because there's the least distractions you have, the better. Okay, so all right, he looks like he needs to be cut a little bit more. Of course, I could take a chisel and take care of it that way. Just going to take care of this real quick, my friends. Not real quick. You don't do anything quick when you're working with tools. You want to take care and take the time to be careful. Obviously, he wants to go in. He went in before. There he goes. All right. I think I did the same thing over again. Backwards. Sorry about that. All right. Let's get him out. See, that's why you mark things out with tape and this and that and the other. Because I'll tell you what, I had one too many distractions today. And when you get these distractions, that's when things go wrong. Okay? When you get the distractions. You come back, you don't know where you left off, and this, that, and the other happens to you. You just... That's why you do those types of things, okay? All right, here we go. Oh, beautiful. You just have to trust me, it's beautiful. Now I'll take out the mount. All right, again, we do things live around here most of the time. So you get to see the whoopsies and this and that and the other. But look how gorgeous the table is. I'll see if I can get around this LED light here. Look at that, my friends. So every bit of the making this unit has been covered in the series. So just look up the series, Super Awesome Coffee Table. This is the very first one you're watching. Just know that I cover a lot. So the next thing I have to do, we're near the finish line, my friends. We really are. Is I have to take this oak. I joined this guy up. Oh man, is he heavy. All right, and I have to put him down here. So I have to come up with a support system. I'm really not sure. I do pray and I thank Hashem, the Lord Jesus, when I do things, and He gives me ideas as I go along. So I did look for some designs. Couldn't find exactly what I wanted, so I thought I'm just going to go in this direction. So there you go. It's fun just to do things like this. And the gentleman, Mr. DeSorbo, who is the owner of this, the works, sign, 67-pound glass, half-inch glass sign, says that I get to choose the design. So yay! All right, so tune in for that. I'm going to have to figure that out. Now, as a clue, I may be using these. This is my first attempt at making fancy panels, which I was going to have like this. All right. But what happened was when the fraud bit came in, I didn't have the fraud bit, 3.5 inch. I realized then that this is too thin because I made this very custom and thin. All right, so that's not going to work. Will it go to waste? Well, I hope not. What I'm thinking of doing is creating a support system out of this that'll be embedded into here, possibly. We'll see. And it's going to go underneath. Of course, it's going to be like this, not down there. The unit is upside down. So, we'll see what I end up doing. I'm probably going to cut these in half and then make it a part of the structure to hold that. We'll see, though. Thanks for stopping by the shop. Again, subscribe if you like what you see. I tend to be a little lengthy in my speech. I'm trying to be a little more succinct and to the point. But I'll tell you what. Let me ask you this question, my viewers. When you talk with somebody for 10 minutes, even if you get one little tip out of that, whatever the subject is, doesn't matter. It's woodworking in this case. You're going to hear some things. I didn't think about that. So, that's what I try to do, is come out with little tips here and there as I'm doing a thing. All right, take care. Stay tuned for the next episode. Bye. Shalom. Shalom.